Pleased with our team's performance today. I thought Notre Dame played really hard, and obviously Marcus Burton is a terrific player. I mean, he's so hard to handle, and did a terrific job for them. But our offense tonight was really, really good. Just very efficient. We've continued to share the ball, and to have three guys have 5 assists and no turnovers is terrific. 23 or 4 assists on the game, and just really pleased with all those things. Obviously happy for Ian, 1,000th point, big-time game, 24 points. He was awesome. And then Jake Heidbreder. Couldn't be more happy for Jake. He's a good player that's, been coming off our bench and working really hard for, all year, and sat out last year. And he was a really good player at Air Force. He's a good player here, and I'm just, you want good things like that to happen for somebody who sacrifices and works as hard as he is. I think he's really improving, and happy to see him have a big game. I thought he was very good defensively too. He got to play a little more. Obviously, Chase. Most people don't. Chase tweaked his calf. Was it Thursday in practice, and didn't practice Friday, and just tried to gut it out a little bit today. He certainly wasn't 100%, and so we kept his minutes a little bit lower because of that. But proud of him for just fighting, and good win for us. Double-figure win at home. So just got to try to keep it going. Questions for me?
Coach, that's a 7-minute scoring drought in the first half. You're getting good looks. They just weren't falling.
Yeah.
Then Ian just really took it over, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He got a couple offensive rebounds and scored a couple inside. That helped. That's basketball. You're going to have times when you get good shots and you miss them, and you got to play through it. And hopefully you're defending well enough. Maybe you can get a couple easy ones. I thought he got a couple offensive rebounds that were important. He had a very big game for us.
Coach, with 3 games left on the season, this team has the chance to tie the single-season record for Clemson's program with 26 wins. How does that feel? What does that tell you about this team? How special is this team?
Yeah, we're not really talking about those things. Obviously, we just keep talking about if we play well and handle business and do things the right way, then we'll keep having important games. And I think an older group like we have has been able to that's resonated with them. They understand that. But that's obviously a testament to how well they've played, how much they've been prepared. It's really hard to do what they've done, to win this many games and to be as efficient as they've been. I'm proud of them. We're just going to concentrate on Virginia next and see what happens after that. Excuse me.
24 assists at SMU. How rare is it to have a team that passes the ball as well?
Yeah, it is. I hope we have teams that share it like this, in the past. Maybe not as many that, you got to have a lot of guys making shots. That's not easy either, is to have guys who can make this many. That's part of why we're good, is we do have a lot of different guys that can score. But they're a very unselfish group, and they're like that every day. They're like that away from here. They're not like it just on the basketball court. They're a good group of guys that like each other, and I think it shows in how they approach things, and certainly shows in their play.
Coach, how have you seen Ian grow as a leader this year, battling through injuries and coming through that?
Yeah, it's not been an easy year for him. He's had a lot of knick-knack things, and whether it's calf strain and back, spasms, and fell on his wrist, and his wrist's been bothering him, and he fell on his hip, and his hip's been bothering him, and he's, he hasn't practiced all the time because of it. But he's a warrior. I mean, he wants to compete. He wants to win. He knows this is his senior year. He's trying to have a special year. He's not the most vocal, serious leader, but he's like a fun guy who's in the back of the bus cracking jokes and in the locker room having a good time with everybody. And he's just a guy that guys like, and they like to play with him because they respect how hard he plays and the fact that he does play when he doesn't feel 100%. He's just going to do what he can do for his team, and he's been like that throughout his career. He's obviously been a joy to coach. Obviously I'm going to miss him terribly.
Ian said that you tell him to go to the training room 4 hours ago.
Yeah, he's this year especially. He's always been a guy that's had to go in there, but this year has been more than even usual. and sometimes that's a better place for him than practice right now. He just has, he's just got a lot of things that have, because he plays so hard and he's fallen down, and he's just one of those baby elephants that it's not easy. And but he's very committed and always been a team guy and certainly a fun guy to coach.
Coach Shrewsberry said you guys should have multiple all-league players this year, just because of the success you guys have had. What does that kind of mean coming from him? That
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're appreciative of the coaches in our league. We got a lot of good young coaches. Coach Shrewsberry being one of them. He's a terrific coach, and he's going to have Notre Dame doing really well. And obviously, I'm excited because we have a team that has played well. We've performed like a team that's one of the better teams in our league, and because of that, we have all-conference players. Those are the guys that should be on the all-conference team, or the guys that are on the winning teams. And obviously, I'm proud of these guys because of how hard they've worked, and some of them have really developed. It hasn't been easy for some of them. They've had to grow through their careers, and certainly they're having terrific seasons now.
Coach asked Jake about what clicked tonight, and he responded and he just made his shots. Was there anything that you saw from behind the scenes?
No, not really. I think we feel like he's really improved defensively. You can see it every day in practice. You can see it in the film. Like he obviously is more comfortable. He follows our game plans. He was terrific tonight defensively. He does a lot of little things that are beyond like the 4 out of 7 threes. He's an unbelievable cutter. So he moves without the ball, and sometimes he just opens space for other guys because of his hard cutting. He's not a guy that's chasing the ball down every time like some guys do, and so he'll cut out of the way to let somebody else make a play. His hard cuts get him shots certainly, and it's great to see him knock one or two down, and then he just kind of gets himself going. He made a couple tough ones tonight. Those were big-time shots. I thought he played great in the second half.
going into the under-8 timeout, Notre Dame had just cut the lead to single digits, so that you guys kind of blew it back open.
Yep.
What did you say to your team in that break?
Yeah, we talked about, hey, when they have a player or two like Davis and Burton that, they can make hard shots. They can create situations where they get fouled. They can get by you. You have to be on point all the time, every possession. And, we didn't have a lot of bad possession. We had a 17-point lead, and I thought our possessions were good. We didn't turn it over. I thought we got like 3 or 4 really good shots, 2 on the perimeter, maybe 1 or 2 inside. We just didn't make them. And they came down and made a couple. And, sometimes they do a good job of they make you grind late in the clock, and then all of a sudden, somebody gets open, they knock in a 3. It can be a little demoralizing, or you foul. And that happened a couple possessions. We lost our discipline. And so just reminding guys to defend hard without fouling. They were in the bonus, and we wanted to make sure they had to earn baskets.
Looks like you were trying to get Chauncey going. What do you need to get out of him as you sort of?
Yeah, he had a tough night tonight. He couldn't quite get comfortable making a shot. He got a couple around the rim, and that's the part of his game we keep trying to work with him on to get that part of it going, because we know he can make a 3 and that's good, but if he can start to become a little more consistent around there, I'd love to see him draw a foul or two, and get to the free throw line and make it a little easier on himself every once in a while. But part of this, that's what you have to grow through that. Like, you have to give guys some opportunities down there, and they're not going to – he hasn't done that very much in his life, so he's learning how to do it. There's one time he went back over his right shoulder. He could have probably made an easier move, just go back over your left. He didn't feel that one. He had a couple that were good looks. He had a great hook in the middle of the lane, just didn't go in. I thought he took one bad one where he spun and settled on one, where it's like you can get deeper, you have more time. But that's development. You just got to give a guy some chances, and he's got to play through it. And there's been games he's got those balls in the basket. Today was a night he didn't. But he'll be fine.
Brad, big picture, why do you think your program is so successful in integrating transfers into the system and kind of seamlessly fitting into what you guys want to do?
I think there's a lot of reasons. I think, number one, we've had a great group of guys that are already here that have established our culture of how we do things, and there's just kind of the standards with which we operate, and those guys make sure that the new guys understand that, and so that's part of it. Number two is I think we recruit really good guys. who want to come in and like the way we do things and know they're going to be coached, but know if they pay attention that they're going to have a chance to be successful. And I think we're honest about our, what we need from them. So when they come, they know what they're getting into and what it's going to be and what their roles are. And so there's an acceptance there and understanding of what it is, clear communication, recruiting. And then it's just a combination of probably a little bit of all that, and it's, maybe a little bit of luck too. It's worked out that guys have fit what we've needed and obviously have had success as they've played.
How's Christian doing?
He's getting better. He practiced a little bit yesterday. He was kind of a game time decision and just didn't feel like he could go. So, we didn't try it.
More questions?
All good? Okay. Thanks, everybody.